We're back.
The new studio.
I know. It's actually reason we've not got hoodies on is because it's actually warm.
It's actually warm. We have a radiator that's not on, but it's still warm.
First of all, hi Leslie. Anyone who is wondering, Leslie's my cleaner, and she watches this every week, which is
turns out
kind of worrying because I'm thinking,
we said
a lot of weird stuff, and like
she keeps turning up at your house.
Why is she getting bigger every week?
Why is she keep bringing cake?
why is she bringing cake and getting bigger? Like,
I prefer cake, Ryan.
Why is she asking about gear? Why is my gear going missing around my house? Debo.
She's just jacked eating Victoria.
So anyway, yeah. Thanks for the one person that watched it, Leslie. I love that. How are you?
Fun. I'm very good, mate. Thank you. It's been a very long time, hasn't it?
It's been a little bit too long.
I feel like there's not many podcasts that have been in 2 studios before.
No, there probably is. There's probably loads.
There probably is,
yeah.
Yeah.
We're not that special.
No.
But yeah, what's new with you?
We're engaged.
Oh, you idiot! What? No,
that's the newest.
Congratulations. No, no. What happened? How did she trap you?
Oh. It's been a 3-year trap.
Yeah.
No, it's in Portugal. Obviously, for those who know, I went to Portugal, and told no one.
Yeah, you didn't.
I actually thought about this. It was lucky you were away.
Why?
Because we train every day. You'd have probably been the person I told.
No, but Tony mentioned it.
Tony
to me.
did.
Yeah.
Tony mentioned it to me. He was like, "When you get married," I was like,
"No." Tony was like, "It's a little conniver," because he said, I mentioned to you, "Oh, you'll be getting engaged soon," and you were like,
That was like the Wednesday, and I went on the Friday. I was like,
"Yeah."
How do you know? And I was like, maybe. Like,
No, I'm not, mate. No, we fucking told you that. Yeah, so. No face, no case.
Yeah.
Deny.
Well, yeah, so I texted Tony straight away. I was like, somehow you knew, but yeah, there you go. Well done.
Nah, it's nice though. It's good.
It's lovely.
Now it gets expensive.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh fuck. Yeah,
nice.
Now it's like, okay, let's try and rinse this out for another 2 years.
Yeah. And do you want to get married 20, 34?
Yeah, well, we've got that and we've got this. And, yeah.
No, it's just...
So, stag do. Well, you're going to do like a joint?
Potentially, yeah. She actually mentioned doing a joint one to like Vegas somewhere, which I'm sound with. I'm cool.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Does she like prostitutes and hookers? I'm sorry, Caitlin. I'm only joking. If anyone, Caitlin's lovely. But I wouldn't do that to you.
No.
He was damned on about a night out the other night, and he was like, "No, Dan, let's not do that."
No.
So, topic today is questions, but. Right, we've got a few questions here.
I've got several as well, which are really good.
Oh, well, you go first, then go on, babe.
They're not going to lie ones. I am. You've mentioned it before.
Don't shit on my questions, Tom.
No, you've mentioned it before, and the app is definitely sending you questions.
Yeah, the app must send you questions.
Right, unless it's not, but the first one I got within seconds, honestly.
Are you gay?
No, within seconds of putting it on my link was "You're so attractive." So I was like, bang. Straight onto the story. Who's watched it? And it were 2 guys.
But what does that mean?
No, both of them are clients.
But they might just like you.
Nah,
no, that's like. Is it not?
I feel like asking them. I'm not going to mention the names because that's weird. And then there's always that. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, we should talk more.
We should talk more on there as well.
Yeah. So when we've been thinking people love us, they don't.
And then I've got you. You're so attractive. That's another one. This is a serious one though. This.
Right. Okay.
You ready? Can you ask Ryan?
Oh God!
No, it's not bad. This. If there was a particular year he thinks he made the most progress towards getting his pro card, and what about that year made it the year?
The most progress I've ever made is when they brought Classic out.
Okay, yeah.
So they brought Classic out, and then it was like, okay, you could see like I have a future in the sport of like pro, because the only other route was 212.
Yes.
So then at my height, the 212 doesn't really work.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So then it's like I was 212 for 212, too like small stature wise, muscularity wise for open.
Yeah, fine.
So then you kind of like, well, I'm just going to keep competing, putting muscle on. Yeah. My whole thing was always like create the perfect physique, which it still is. It was just like no weaknesses.
Yes.
But it was never like I was like thinking, fucking hell, like I want a pro card, but how the fuck am I going to get a pro card? And if I do, where am I going to go?
Did you have an inkling they were releasing that class, or did it just appear?
No, it just appeared.
Right, okay.
And then, luckily, my physique suited that.
Yeah.
So then it was like, right, let's double down on everything. And then it was like, okay, just tunnel vision. And what happened was, I just trekked the whole year like prep.
Right, okay.
So in my mind, I was like, I am prepping for this show, which might be in like 18 months' time.
Yes.
But I'm prepping now. So like, what I think happens and what I know happens is the switch. Everyone will tell you this who preps. Your mindset switches as soon as you say I'm prepping.
Yeah, it does, to be fair, yeah.
And I think it's the language you use, people around you, they'll always look at it and go, oh, he's prepping. It's okay, he's prepping. So they kind of give you like this wider berth, or you tell yourself, when you say I'm prepping, I can't have cheat meals. I can't really go out that much. No. I can't like socialise as much. I'm prepping. I've got prep all my meals. And I think it's that switch where you just tell yourself, and it was like, I not always tell the story, but like, even just little things like, I remember having a fucking yogurt. It was literally a yogurt in the morning, an activity yogurt. I was working with Neil Hill, who is like Flex Lewis's coach. So he was one that said I could be a pro. He seen me on my first show and was like, you've got, like, he said, come meet me, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, you've got, I'm not saying it's going to be this year, 5 years, but if you put the work in, you've got the structure.
Do you reckon it was his word that made you push? Or
Yeah,
do you think you'd have gone for it anyway?
I was always like, that's, my goal was always that.
Okay, yeah.
And I always got, like, at first I got called stupid. Yeah. Like, which is, it's understandable now, because in reality, I had only done, the thing was I'd done junior shows, and I'd won them, and I'd won Mr. shows as a junior. It was my first year competing. So all I had in my head was, I want to make money and train, and that's it. I want to bodybuild, train. I didn't even want to coach. I didn't know coaching at the time. I just want to be sponsored, like, train, and live the body, like, watch Jay Cutler live his lifestyle. Watch Flex Lewis live his lifestyle. So that's all I wanted to do. And then when Neil, which is mad, Neil came and said to me, come down to Cardiff, train with me, looked at me and was like, after the show, and was like, yeah, you've got the potential to be, the structure to be a pro. And then he started working with him, and then that's when it was like, so anyway, I had like a yogurt in the morning, and if I'd have ran out of that yogurt and it was 11 o'clock at night when I was getting my food ready for the morning, I was out to the shop straight away.
That's what you're doing, prep, isn't it?
That's what you're doing. You just don't miss that. So
was Neil's words before the classic class got released?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
But the reason then, and then obviously I was like pushing and saying like, right, I could probably make it as a pro. Didn't really know like if I could do 212, and then it kind of got to a point where I was like, I'm not really. I'm too, like Flex. If anyone knows, Flex Lewis is 5'5". So it's like he's built for that class.
212,
So like
100%. They all are.
They all that short, So then I'm like, I know I've got the shape and structure, but then I'm like, to be that size at my height is not fucking. Do you know what I mean? So
it's not going to give it.
So then that's when the classic come out. I was like, okay, it kind of give that thing, and then I'd already had the tools then. So then the discipline, the mindset, and the structure, and the lifestyle. Because at that point I was coaching. I was like, okay, cool, like let's double down it, and that's what happened. I just basically doubled down on everything, and then I was like, right, I'm going for a pro card. And that's kind of when I made the most progress. So I think the takeaway from that is, it's how you set up your mindset and the belief. So your belief systems. Is when you have to be all in. And that's when you're going to make the most progress.
I think it's what you're saying, you got called stupid stuff. It's more on a reflection of their beliefs than actually yours, isn't it? Like, in reality.
You have to, I always used to say this when I was younger, you have to be delusional. People have to think you're delusional. Like, what are you on about? You're stupid. And I'm like, no, okay. I have to be stupid, because what I'm trying to chase is stupid, and it's delusional. In your mind, you have to, like, no one has done great things. No. Anyone who's done anything great has at one point been called stupid or delusional.
100%.
So if you're, I know it's all fucking cliche and that, but if you're setting goals that are achievable, like, I just want to win a regional, well, okay, we know you can do that. So you're not really pushing yourself.
It's more in the thought of the people that there's no one achieved it around them before, whereas people have won regionals and stuff like that, but no one. How far would you say out of Leyland way has won a pro card? How many miles? It'd probably be like...
There's none. There's none in our town, or
you're looking like probably 30 miles away, aren't you? Before
potentially. Like there's no one in our gyms in our vicinities that's won. No. So this is what I always say about me and Jamie Dorigo. We lived in the same area, but both won pro cards. The only thing that was different was our mindset. Like, there was so many different people. So many different people who had better genetics than us. Who just didn't work as hard as us, or whatever the reason. Like, they just didn't have that tunnel vision, or didn't believe they could do it, so they didn't.
So they just didn't.
So the start of it all is, don't be delusional in a sense of like, if someone's saying like, don't be so delusional, take it in steps. It's got to be fucking stepping stones. Don't go, I'm gonna be Mr. Olympia, and you've not won a show.
You've not even steps.
You've got to take it in steps, but then you've got to have that long-term vision of like, okay, maybe this is possible. And then again, seek people who've done it, and they will, like, I will never tell anyone. I'll tell them if they've not got the genetic potential, but I'll never tell anyone they can't do it.
No.
Because who the fuck am I to tell you? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you're saying.
You can if you want, and that's my biggest driving force now, is to allow other people to see that. And I always say that in the gym, don't I? Say, like, the reason that I put my pro card up in the gym is that people can go, well, Ryan trained here, and he wanted a pro card, and he's just a normal guy, and like, I can do it. I'm 18 years old, let me fucking go for it.
All the time.
Yeah, because they can.
If you can do it, if you can actually do it.
Yeah.
The worst, this is a good one actually. The worst advice you've ever been given. It could be, let's say, bodybuilding related, and let's say life in general.
What's yours? What do you think about it?
Probably, financially wise, keep all your money in the bank.
Yeah.
Worst advice ever. Like, it's safe in the bank.
Say like for me, like save for a rainy day. Like
we live in England. We live in England.
Yeah, always. You're spending all your money in one day. Yeah. But yeah, like that don't get me wrong, there's some savings, but in a sense of like, or just no. My one was, and it was actually my mum, bless her. She was like, just get a normal job.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, nah.
No, not today.
Like that's not like that whole. And I guess it's each their own, but for me, that was the worst. Like the worst advice of just get a normal job and settle. Like, I can't live my life like that. I feel dead.
It's like the norm though, when it like you leave college, you leave work, you leave school, go to college, get a 9 to 5, retire at 70 now.
I had this conversation with Aaron, who works at the gym. Aaron built a massive business. So he had lads work for him, blah blah, and he got rid of it all. Yeah. Because he realised, and he had his house and this, that, and the other.
Yeah, he did.
And he realised like that's not really that seems like the goal.
Yeah.
And then you get that, and it's like, what now then?
But that's because it's the norm, and that's like you've reached the norm goal of owning your own company with a load of lads, but it doesn't make you happy.
It's society's version of success.
Norm. So like, it's not norm success.
Yeah, it's normality. It's like normal people's success is you get a car, you get a house, you get this, you get a dog, you have a kid. And right now what? And like, because what happens, I feel like is people are doing that for everybody else's validation. Yeah. Because if you step out of that and go, now I'm going to do this, people go, oh, what the fuck are you doing? Like, they don't understand it.
No.
But the first part of living the life you want to live is having people not understand you.
100%. Yeah.
It's like when you're doing the same thing as everybody else,
it's fine.
Yeah, everyone's accepts it, but that's when you're not going to be successful. I don't feel it. You can get to somewhat success of the normal society success, but not like your personal.
No,
I think so. As in bodybuilding, probably. I don't know, man. Everything's a lesson with it, isn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, I don't know. There's not really been any. There's been exercise. No, I don't.
There's not really been a
bodybuilding.
Like, no, not really a bodybuilding thing. Like. And I don't really take advice from people. Oh, the funniest one I ever got was,
Go on.
I was sat out giving bread when I used to be a kitchen, whatever. I don't even know what they call the job title, but anyway, so I'll explain. You give out bread because if you don't give out the bread in like portions, everyone will just take everything, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah. I got you.
So I'm giving you got like someone with a bit of like credibility or whatever. It's not credibility, but fucking someone who people won't fucking piss about with.
Yeah.
Gives out the bread. So this lad goes to me, goes, can I get 2 slices of brown, please? I said, yeah, no worries. He went, on a cut honour, and I was like, right. And he said, yeah. He said, so what happens is when I'm bulking, what you want to do, bro, is you want 4 pieces of white in it. And then when I'm on a cut, I do 2 pieces of brown. And I was like, I was thinking, how am I in this situation for 1, and 2, I'm like, sound mate.
That's good.
I was like, what the fuck? Like,
save yourself 50 calories.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself like, I haven't got the heart to tell him that, like, of what I know.
Whoever's told you that is.
But then, I was just thinking, fucking hell, like, yeah, okay. And then, so what I did, I wrote it down and thought, right, that's my diet now. So that's probably the worst advice I've ever been given.
2 brown and 4 white.
Yeah, two white on a 2 brown on a cut, 4 white on a.
4 on a bolt.
But he's not allowed 4 white, so I just give him 2 white. You can fuck off.
Yeah, no more white. Yeah.
So next question.
I think let's have a look. This is a maths thing.
Maths.
How many leg extensions reps do you think you've done since birth?
Way too many.
Like, if you could, I don't even
since birth. Like, fucking hell. That's a mad question. It's good though.
We've done like 100 and odd a set.
Always. Yeah, a session will do
60.
more probably. Yeah, like I remember back, the worst leg extensions I've ever done was the guy who used to train me. He was a lunatic, and he passed. I've got so many weird stories. His dad passed away, which R.I.P. And then he did 100 reps, and bearing in mind, I'm like, you know John, don't you?
Yeah.
He's psycho, isn't he?
Yeah, nuts.
So he's done 100 reps on the leg extension because obviously he's upset about his dad, and that's his chat. And then I'm like 20, 21.
Right, okay.
He puts me on the leg extension, the same weight as he's just done. Bearing in mind, he's a world, like, he's Mr.
Like
Britain.
Mr. Britain at the time.
Yeah, like fucking 280 £280.
Yeah, he's a big lad.
And he's like,
big lad, right?
100 reps. Wow. I was like, and I couldn't move. Like, he literally, I went to get up like I do to people, put me back in, carry on. That was the hardest, probably one of the hardest leg extensions I've ever done. Like, so that, so we do that. Like, I couldn't even think of a number.
I'm saying if we do 60 a session, at the moment we're doing legs once a week, it's 3,120 a year.
A year.
Right, and you've been doing it 15 years.
Yeah.
Right, so let's say 15 years. I know you've probably done around 50,000 leg extensions.
50,000 leg
46.8.
Yes.
But the 100 reps and stuff.
Yeah. So let's call it 100.
Yeah.
No, let's just call it 100,000.
Let's call it 100,000, yeah. If you could only eat one protein source, one carb source, and one fat source for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Practicality here for me. So the practicality there is so simple, because if I can only eat it for the rest of my life and I want to travel, do this, do that, I'm doing whey protein, oats and peanut butter.
Easy.
Because then I can just have that wherever I want, whenever I want. You don't have to cook. You don't need a cooker. Like,
no.
So you're going to think in certain circumstances that you're going to be in, might not.
No, you're not able to cook.
If you just say chicken, you're going to always have to cook chicken.
Yeah, which would be a bit annoying.
Science, bro.
How do you like your eggs?
What about you? What's yours? It's not just about me.
Yeah. See, when I first
Don't
read
copy
that,
what I said.
No, when I first read that, then I was thinking like chicken, but then I'm like, you need to cook it every day. But then it's like tuna, but then I can't eat.
You
shit.
smell.
Yeah, the stink, and I can't eat that 4 or 5 times a day.
I used to eat 2 tins of tuna when I used to work on a building site back in the day.
You're back in there.
I used to eat 2 tins of tuna every 2 hours with a Live 52 tablet. Remember them?
Just in case.
Just because it wasn't a full amino or some shit, and it was literally, I used to sit in the van, on the edge of the van, fucking open these tins of tuna, pour it out on someone's fucking garden as it stunk, and I just eat, and they'd be like, "What the fuck are you eating there, lad?"
Yeah.
While he eats his Kit Kat and dips in his brew. I'm like, get to fuck.
Fat as hell.
Like, fuck off, Dave.
Yeah. Never been to a gym.
So don't do tuna.
To be fair, when my first prep, I remember towards the end of it, I was on. I think I had like, it might have been 3 tins a day, and I think it was about 6 weeks. It took me 18 months to eat tuna after it.
Yeah.
Never touched it.
Yeah.
But you just do it, don't you?
But it's cheap, innit? So that's why I did it. It was cheap, and I didn't really.
It was very cheap at the time.
And then you used to make. I remember Gary Lister, who's like one of probably the best bodybuilders to come out of Britain ever.
Yeah,
he used to do a tuna shake, didn't he?
Oh mate,
he used to do that orange juice tuna.
Yeah. It's like Coca-Cola as well, wasn't it? People did it in Coca-Cola, and they had like a full-on Y, and it's like fucking insulin spike, and then your protein's in, and it's like,
that just fucking stinks, bro.
Yeah, it just stinks.
The actual orange juice I did, and you can kind of get it because the actual orange juice kind of takes away the tuna bit.
Yeah.
But you know, like orange juice has bits in anyway.
Yeah, it was like that.
It was like that, but it was fucking hungry.
It's disgusting. Mine, yeah. So I'd say, cooking wise again, I didn't even think of cooking when I read it though. I just thought like it'd be ready or whatever.
Me, that's why I think
oats is rice cakes. That's a decent one. I could eat them all day. Rice cakes is one, and then
I'd go Snacker Jacks, to be fair.
Snacker Jacks, and then probably it's either got to be prawns because they're already cooked, tuna, or whey protein. That's the only choice.
Yeah.
Prawns I got sick of after about a day. It's got to be whey.
Yeah, it's got to be whey.
What flavour though?
But you can have loads of flavours.
Oh yes,
so that works even better.
And then fat sauce, cashews.
Okay.
All day.
Right.
Easy as that. How do you like your eggs in the morning?
Oh man,
and they've put the little frying pan thing.
Oh, cool.
The little fry.
It's the small things. I fucking knew I'd love to be able to make some fancy omelette, some fucking decent eggs, and then put it on Instagram on my plate. But I literally just bang them in a fucking Tupperware, whisk them up, nuke them in the microwave.
Question, haven't we, though?
Yeah.
In the past, like, how should I cook these?
Yeah, I just nuke them in the microwave and just fucking eat them. Like, I'm at that point now.
Can I fry them? If you want, mate. I go mad.
But like, I can't fry an egg. I'm shit at it.
No, I'm alright, to be fair.
I'm just like...
I'd love to make poached.
Like poached eggs and this, you see these people with fucking these, and I'm like...
avocado and everything.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it looks good, mate, but I'm just busy now. I'm just trying to just fucking get it in the microwave.
30 seconds. Well,
people like, it's like eating a fucking inner tube of a fucking, you know, like a bike tyre or something.
What you must do like 4 minutes, you, and they're
just like
proper like stiff eggs.
It's like my neck right now. I'm not penis. You are attractive though.
Yeah, that was one of them. You're so attractive. Oh,
I get that a lot.
The app's telling me. I think that's it for me, to be fair. Oh, please don't leave me unopened again.
Why have you not been messaging back, Tom?
I'm chief message backer. I'm never.
Someone said that to me today. No, it was actually a client.
I never don't message back.
Yeah, I'm shit at it.
Even if it's just that, I do that a lot. That's
simple,
yeah. I don't like that because I feel like if people put that, I feel like you know, and that pro was like, it's like people, it's like retarded. It's almost like you're retarded, where it's like there's that little kid who's like, yeah, and you're like, fuck off. Yeah. So I'm that guy.
How have you thought into that?
I do.
But right, so this is retarded, but this isn't.
No, that's like, yeah, okay. But all I see is that kid going like, and it's that. When I see a thumb, I'm like, nah. That's me. I'm done.
Yeah, I don't. You're very. Some client said the other day, like, you must live on your phone about you because you're at the gym all the time, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, it's easy for me.
Yeah. Well, it's like with me, I'll fucking ADHD kid. I'll read a message.
Right.
And forget. In my head, I've already messaged you back.
Yeah, but you've not.
I've not messaged you back.
Yeah.
So it's easier on Instagram because I can just.
Okay. Yeah.
I read it and then I'll go back and I'll unread it.
Right.
So it tells me. But
WhatsApp, you fucked.
WhatsApp, I'm fucked.
Yeah,
once I've opened it, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then I'm driving and I get somewhere else and I'm fucking.
Yeah, it's gone now.
It's gone. So clients, I'll be like, sorry, mate, I read this and then I didn't message back because I forgot. But people are used to me by now.
I'm done.
Right, questions we got. So I put out about like old school bodybuilding cycles. You know, like steroids, like we just touched on, really, like some of the stuff that people used to do.
D-ball.
Like, yeah, so
What a D-ball.
test and deca ratio. So I always remember it was always a thing where it was like two amounts of test to one ratio of deca.
I had 3 at one point.
What, 3 tests?
So you needed 300 milligram for every 100 milligram of deca.
Who's in the gym? Someone said that.
That was that was down at Jay's gym
in Bolton.
That was the thing, yeah.
But yeah, that ratio of being like, okay, you need X amount of test, say 500 test and 250 deca.
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck that came from.
It was all the theory behind it was, if you did anything less, you'd get deca dick.
Well, yeah, and that
was the whole thing. And for those that don't know what deca dick is, you basically have an innie.
It's the worst. It's the worst moment of your life because
it doesn't even.
You've got your sex drive through the roof. You're looking like an absolute Adonis, so it's easy to pull, and then you haven't got the ability. You're thumbing it in.
Nothing's
happening. You just got to be real good at fingering.
Yeah.
Because then you're just like, what is it? But you like the more that you think about it,
you get annoyed.
The more it goes, and you're like, come on, bro, we've got this. And it's like, it's your moment to shine, bro. You're on 500 mega test, and you're not.
In a minute.
Yeah. And you've been giving it big licks on fucking text, like, I'm gonna give you this, I'm gonna give you that, and you're like, bro. Like you had one job.
And then you're gonna do fucking nothing.
Yeah, you're gonna do nothing. She's like, okay. I thought you was horny. Like, you're not into me. You're not into me. Yeah. I've had something funny in me. This is funny because I've used all these excuses. But yeah, deca, there's nothing. You're not coming back from that shit. So like, just avoid. But the other side as well with the deca side of things is, I don't use deca with clients or myself because if the people can get bad side effects mentally. Yeah. So when you've got a long-acting deca in there, and that happens, you're fucked
for a long time.
For like 20 odd days, nearly a fucking month. So I'll tend to lean on the side of MPP with deca.
Yeah.
For that 19 nor. So then if it does, we do have them adverse side effects. I just pull it.
Quicker, innit?
Yeah, it's just fast-acting deca. MPP is fast-acting deca.
Yes.
Nandrolone propionate.
Yeah.
And we'll just pull it. So then it doesn't. Because again, I said this on the way down. Like some cycles I've ran, perfectly fine mentally. But then the other variables come in, and I've had this with clients as well. Like there could be stressful time at work, there could be anything, and it changes.
I spoke about it when we recently put a bit. I think 100 milligram of tren we put in.
Yeah,
couldn't train. Yeah, not mentally or anything. My joints.
Yeah, joints.
Like, literally, my joints felt like it's like I had flu, but I felt completely normal. But my joints were just like
you were sweating night sweats as well.
Oh, mate, my joints. I've never felt. It was like I was waiting for flu because it was just a flu, and I was like,
so it's stuff like that. But
trying to lift in the gym, I can't even lift.
But like, say we use an acetate there, it just pulls it out. It's done.
Yeah, straight
so
done.
Like, if you're gonna try things like that, I would always go on the like back in the day it was just like Deco, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then if you've got Deco it, you're fucked. You better not be texting no birds.
And then the mind game starting, you get up.
Yeah, you're screwed. EQ Primo needed to be run at higher dosages. So the theory is,
I think with Primo,
it doesn't work over 700 milligrams, so it's not going to do fuck all. And that's what the whole thing was. We have to run. It's so weak and it's so this. So you have to run, which isn't actually true.
It's not true at all. I've run it like 200 milligram and I had great results off it.
Yeah, so and that was the old school mentality of like, well, if you're going to use Primo, you got to run a gram more. And people do run that now to control estrogen and pull estrogen down and so on. But I was having this chat yesterday in the gym, and I was saying 10 mil of Primo or 2 tabs of Aromasin. In reality, it's like in application, like what's going to be easier, what's actually going to be more and not more beneficial, but what's going to be actually be able to be applied over time, rather than just like 10 mil of fucking anything in a week.
It's hard work.
And then you can get the 200 mg one, but then is it all Primo and so on. So just using all that Primo is like I'm going to use it for anti-estrogen effects. You could just put Aromasin in.
I think with a lot of it will come down to with the Primo as well, with it only coming in 100 milligram, when you can get like other compounds in like 300 milligram. That's potentially why they're like, oh, you need to run 10 mil of it. So, but it's probably just to level out the
because really you're only running, say you were running 4 mil a test, it's 1,000 and then you're running 10 mil of Primo. So then it's like, well, really? What I found as well is looking at blood work. Like DHTs are going to skew HDL, which is your cholesterol. But so's Aromasin, right? So they're both going to do the same fucking thing. Right, so that everyone's like, hey, I mess your cholesterol, but so's 10 mil of Primo. So then in application, in theory, it's great. But in application, it doesn't. It's the same with your Himbine. Like, in theory, running your Himbine at 25, 30, blah, 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 10 milligrams per kilo or whatever it is, you like, that in theory, works. But in application, it doesn't.
It's a lot of time.
The same thought process with the GH. It's like, right, let's run 10 IUs of GH. Right, now try and wake up. You're going to be absolutely fucked. Like, how lethargic you're going to be. You're going to be so tired that you're not going to want to train. And like I had it when I went up to, I think it was 7 or 8 IUs of GH. I couldn't move my hands. I couldn't move. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm really full. I'm huge, but I can't fucking train. And I can't fucking move, and I can't fucking wake up. So
again, it's just so counterproductive, isn't it?
It's when I think it's them things when you push them things like too hard. In theory, sounds great, but then application doesn't always work.
If anything, we always say if anything messes with your training or your sleep, it's like a no. Like straight out.
They're the two driving factors.
It's like with the trend when myself, we put 100 milligram in, couldn't train. It's like, well, it was pointless, this, isn't it? And the same with yourself, GH put it 7 IU, can't move my arms, mega.
I had this chat yesterday, and it was like, I need to stop saying that. I don't want to fucking keep repeating that. Right. I had this chat yesterday.
You talk to a lot of people, though.
Yeah, I do. Unfortunately.
If you didn't say it, people are like, when did you speak about it?
Who did you speak to? But basically, it's finding that sweet. I feel like it's finding that sweet spot. Of like 8 weeks out of prep. Food's at a good point. We're feeling good on the gear that we're on. We're feeling good. Enough growth to do enough insulin to deal with the carbs around training, and just rinsing the fuck out of that.
100%.
Because it's like anything then when you start to push and push and push harder too excessively, it's going to have a negative kickback. 100%. And you're going to just run into a brick wall straight away. It's like if you could string out 6 months worth of off season perfectly, but feeling good. Or you could do this is where I say with the big cycles, like when you're running a fucking huge cycle, it can only last 12 weeks.
100%.
8 to 12 weeks.
You're a mess, and if you get your blood work done, then
you're fucked.
You're pulling everything straight away. And this is the point where a lot of people do it. Like they'll be in a perfect spot with like an off season or even prep, and they'll try and push it.
Just patience.
And you're like, but everything was running, but then you tried to put something else in, and it's just
Yeah.
And it's like, why?
So let's move on to the old school front loading of like orals and using orals. That's the same thing, isn't it? Like you see, the old school theory would be, right, D-ball. Let's put D-ball in it to start off because there's going to be a kick in time for testosterone, and it's like you're just ruining your whole off season in the first 2 weeks.
Just by water loading. I've not ran D-ball for.
I can't remember.
No, honestly, mate, I think it was like 10 years ago, and I had horrific side effects of it.
Like, what were the sides that you found?
Water retention was horrific.
Yeah.
And it was 10 years ago, so I can't remember the exact amount, but it weren't a lot. I weren't running a lot, but mate, I was up every night.
Yeah.
To and from the toilet.
Yeah.
Every
But the thing is, like, it's like, again, the water retention that you get, the high blood pressure, you've just skewed the whole look.
Yeah.
So, like, I always say it's like a disco bodybuilder, and what I mean by disco bodybuilder is someone who trains in the gym to go out on a night out on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, that's great for them because you just want to look big.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're trying to be a decent level competitive bodybuilder, it's like, well, we need to know what's working and how it looks and what's growing in the right proportions.
Yeah.
We just don't need to be covered in 20 pound of water because, yes, you're 20 pounds heavier, but no fucking muscle's been built in fucking 4 weeks.
Going on, is there?
Do you know what I mean? Your head's like a barrel.
No, yeah.
And
that was another thing.
Yeah.
So was my head the first thing to go.
Yeah, it's massive.
And I'll be pretty lean, but my head's like
a
ball of just.
It's not now. You look nice.
Not now. We've done well. Not a deep ball.
But even with the Nat 50s, I've done it with Nat 50s, like the oxymethylones, and that's like lower back pumps. Like can't train. I can't do any fucking bent over. I can't do any squatting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right. So we put on 7 pounds this week, but now I can't train.
Nothing.
So that old school and the thing of front loading is all a load of bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just the most pointless fucking thing
that
ever.
Was another thing going around that gym as well, and it was like, we want to front load our core, so we're definitely on, and then the gear will kick in. And it's like,
that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
just wait for the gear to kick. Like, you're on.
Yeah, we're missing out on 2 weeks, but you've just fucked the whole digestion up. You fucked everything up in them 2 weeks.
Just for nothing.
To then go back on gear.
No.
I put £10 on and thing. I'm like, yeah, okay. But if you look at it a long term, like we're saying about cycles, if we're looking at long term, it's like, can we eke out 20 weeks of progress on this? Or can we get to week 8 and have to pull back and do 8 weeks off?
Yeah, 100%.
This is a big thing as well. The blasting and cruising thing.
Right. Yeah.
Where the old theory would be you come off your PCT and then you that's it, you're done, and then you go back on your weight off 12. Whatever your cycle was, you do the same off.
Yeah.
That was the old theory.
No, but it all comes down to blood work. Every bit of it.
It comes down. So coming off anabolic steroids, this is what people need to understand is we're not trying to come off anabolic steroids to clear our receptors. No. We're coming off anabolic steroids to get our health markers back in check. Because you're going to stay on anabolic steroids. Yeah. If you came to me and said, I'm going to come off anabolics and I don't want to go on them ever again, I want to get my own testosterone back, total different game. PCT, trying to get everything back. Yep. But if you're saying to me, right, I've done 12, 15 weeks on a cycle, I'm thinking about competing, I'm going to go on, say on for the rest of fucking 5 years or something, why are we going to come off anabolics, allow you have no testosterone at all,
zero,
to then try and get your own testosterone to come back, to then basically come off, to basically have no testosterone for weeks and weeks and weeks, to then put synthetic testosterone back in.
Because when you, in reality, all that's going to happen in that time when you come off is your testosterone going to hit the floor.
You ain't going to train. You got the libido, everything, all the negative side effects.
Thing. And if your goal, like you've just mentioned, this person's goal was to compete, you may as well just not bother if you do this period, because you won't. This 8, 10, 12 weeks will be horrific.
Yeah, and the only thing as well is like, okay, let's say hypothetically you get your own testosterone back, great. Yeah. Then you just put synthetic testosterone in and turn it off again. So there's no point.
Yeah, there's 0 point.
So it's like when people say this blasting and cruising, are you meant to come off? Run a PCT, HCG, so on, for sperm count and so on. But the actual testosterone levels, they need to be in normal range.
Yes.
And I had a guy the other day about fertility. And like I send up a fertility protocol out all the time. And people have this notion where you've got to be off anabolic steroids.
No.
You don't.
100% no.
It doesn't have an effect. If you get your testosterone, it's better if you get your testosterone levels into a normal range.
Yes.
But trust me, if you come off all, like your missus goes, I want a kid, come off all anabolics, you're an idiot. You're not going to have a kid because you're not going to sleep with her. And you're not going to have a kid anyway because you've got no testosterone.
No, 0.
So, yeah, that's another thing as well, that whole old school of like, oh, they stay on gear. No, you stay on hormone replacement. Yes. And then get your health markers back in check. And that time period, so the way to do it is, the time period is to go, right, 4 weeks in, let's get blood work. Let's see what's out. Now let's put supplementation in to correct that. Another 4 weeks, let's get blood work. Let's see where we're at. Oh, so it's still out. Okay, let's do manipulator. Another 4 weeks. And that's probably where your 12 weeks is. Yeah. What people don't like is they're going, I don't want to pay for blood work. I'm like...
The most important thing, like, is frightening,
yeah.
isn't it? Like,
so that's the thing as well, is like, that's the time... If you go to 8 weeks and your health is back in check, you don't need another 4 weeks off.
No.
You can carry on and go back on. Yeah, but if your health's not in check after them 4 weeks, you got to do another 4 weeks until it is back in range. And like that's where people get this whole notion of like, I'll stay on for 8 weeks and stay off. It's like no, we stay back on. We go back on when we're a perfect panel of health to then push on again.
Yes.
So this whole notion of come off and fucking it just used to drive me insane.
It all comes down to what your long term plan is really, doesn't it? Or within like year's plan or whatever.
Yeah.
Of where you need to be.
Okay, so. The other thing that I want to touch on is looking at rip blends.
Okay.
Oh, they kill me inside.
The way I've always thought of it is, if you're going to go on a certain rip blend, I'd just rather buy
the
blends, because you know what's going in.
Just buy the individuals and just do it yourself.
You've no idea
what ratio.
Yeah, like it'll say on the box, it's the 100 milligram a test, whatever a trend, whatever a mastron. You've no idea.
No, just run it, and then how can you then manipulate that?
Yeah, you can't.
You can't manipulate. Say, all right, I need 50 mg more of test or 50 mg more of mast.
Yeah.
You can't. So just buy them fucking individually. You
always,
cheap
100%. And you're gonna buy. To be fair, you're gonna buy. So you're gonna do a 12-week course, and a bottle lasts 4 weeks. No matter what, you're gonna buy 3 bottles. Yeah. You may as well just buy them individually.
Like,
it'll last the same.
Yeah, and if you're heading into this game like without that sort of budget, don't do it.
Don't do it. Because you will think bodybuilding's expensive until you actually do it.
Yeah.
It's frightening.
Yeah.
Like I've always said, like I think it was Luke actually mentioned he's going to work out how much it's going to cost him all, bro.
Don't
do it.
No,
never
don't
do that.
No. I'd be a millionaire if I weren't prepping.
It's frightening. The amount of even down to the little things of like show day stuff, like you can spend hundreds.
Oh, even down to like you get treatment twice a week.
Yeah.
It's like £100 a week.
Yeah.
Like GH, you're talking a fucking mortgage. More
easily,
yeah, but it is what it is.
We're not in it for money. Yeah.
No, not for money. The other thing as well, like I get this a lot with shots, like jabbing. Okay. Like jab once a week, can I jab twice a week? Yeah. What's your theory on it?
My theory is I prefer evening out. So basically having more jabs a week. So if for instance, now we're running 400 test and 400 mass, just for instance, I'd tend to do minimum 3 on that.
Yeah.
Basically for peaks and troughs. So obviously when you inject testosterone, you're going to get a peak, and as the week goes on. So I always found that if I did a jab once a week, and say it was a Monday, by the Sunday I'd start to feel a bit.
Yeah, you can.
Whereas obviously if you put in, even if you don't on 2, so you do half and then half on a Thursday, the peak's not as high and the trough's not as low. So I'd tend to split it up. I've had the question before, and I'm like, just do it as many times as you want. What every day? Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, I do every day. I do Monday to Friday.
Yeah, I purely, just because it happened in Egypt as well, like I mentioned before, where I think it dropped out of me, and it was like,
feel like, and again, referring back to when you come off anabolics.
Yeah.
Trust me, you feel like shit.
The feet. I remember in Egypt, I think because it was so hot and I was sweating that much, it was 10 days. I think day 9 and 10 was like, nah.
Yeah, you just feel like dog shit, don't you?
Like I was asleep.
Yeah,
I just don't want to do anything, don't want to move.
And that's the other side as well. When we was talking to the lads in the gym about low testosterone, you can see the signs a mile off.
Yeah, there's a guy in the gym who I speak to a lot. Rob, I'll mention his name.
Hi, Rob.
I don't know if you watch it, but and he's literally saying, I bought this, I bought that, I bought this Shilajit, I bought this, I bought that. I'm like, just get a testosterone.
Is it the 57-year-old guy?
Yeah. I'm like, just get a test. Yeah, well, I might do this, that, and the other. I'm like, I'm going to buy you one.
Yeah, it's 30 quid,
he was spending, mate, he come back from Holland and Barrett with like 150 quid worth of tablets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you literally need half a mil a week and you'll be sweet.
Yeah,
you feel so much better. He's 50-odd-year-old, he's sound. Like, he's never having kids again, he's happy. Like, yeah.
Hormone replacement.
No, 100%, but instead he's looking at all these, well, it's on Facebook, this and that. I'm like, oh.
Karen said.
Yeah,
fucking, this guy who's selling me in Holland and Barrett.
Shop.
So, yeah, that's what I prefer with, like, even with the shot rotation side of things, it's like, they'll I do lats, fucking, you know, like, rotate around for scar tissue.
Yeah.
And then that's another thing as well, is like when I'm doing it, say Monday to Friday, the quantity has to be so much less.
Yeah, and
so then I don't get as much. So you see these kids with, I think I've got an abscess. So yeah, you grabbed 2 mil in your side delt. Are you fucking stupid?
There was I remember a guy at a gym called Bodyworks in Bolton, and I've never seen, and he used to, honestly, he'd be sat in his builder's van and we'd turn up, and honestly, he'd have his jeans on, he'd get it out of the glove box, not even swab the bottle, nothing, just like probably a rip blend, just throw it back, straight through his jeans, in his leg.
Fuck it, get it in your leg.
And I've seen him before as well, get an abscess and draw out of it.
Oh yeah,
like the goo,
what a
and
sick
you're like,
cunt.
nope.
On our bastard, to be
and
fair.
it's like, just take it.
Just take your pants off.
Take your pants off, pal.
Just take your pants off.
Well, you don't want to say it. Just take your pants off.
I did. I said, take your pants off. Now look your dick.
That's the worst I've ever seen. And he had like scars all the way down his legs.
I had the worst jab I've ever had. I never jabbed my legs ever again. And there was a guy that, when I was younger, and I was like, "Can you do my jab for me?" He's like, "Yeah, you put it in your legs before." I said, "Nah, mate. I think I told this story before." And he put it like fucking in my hip flexor, and I was like, the next day, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, I was like, "I've torn my leg at the gym. Like, I couldn't walk, couldn't move. I was just in bed. I was like, fucking hell, that was the worst."
Cheers, pal.
Yeah, nice one, mate.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a guy at a gym at the thing, and he was renowned for asking him. He didn't like doing it, but if you asked him, he'd do it for you. And you'd literally be there, and he'd just go bang, bang, like, and he'd like whack it in your arm.
Oh.
So you'd never ask him again.
Nah.
But he'd do it for you.
My other one was when I was a kid, and there was like, "Oh, we'll do your jab for you." And obviously they must, when you've got minimal blues, they had a green.
No.
And I was
like a Mackie straw.
I came out of the fucking sunbed room or the toilet, and I said to my mate, "Nah, mate, not for me. That
I'm done.
So I'm not doing that, me.
Yeah.
It's too, it hurts too much.
People do that. People
Oh,
say,
it's disgusting.
Like, how
what
do
you now? I'm trying to find like half an inch insulin, just like a little bit. What else is there? What's your theory on what causes a blocky waist?
I think it's overeating, just pushing food to like, and since obviously working with yourself, I do a lot of like, I tell you, I do like, so I'll do like 20 minutes of steps in the morning. I do just the last 10 seconds of every minute, I'll just do 10 seconds of vacuuming. I think it's core control. Yeah. So like, as bodybuilders, we overlook core massively. Look at rectus. I've got abs, just diet, and I've got abs. And we did a bit of core work, didn't we? And it was like, fucking hell. We're weak.
We're very
I'm weak.
But it's stuff that we never do.
No.
And I think no bodybuilder does it.
No.
Like none, but like most bodybuilders don't do that. Secondly, what they do is go, I'm off season, I'm gonna get massive. I'm gonna eat. I've got to eat big. But again, it's that whole waist control. Yeah. Like when you've ate a lot of food and looked at like the old school like chicken and rice, the amount of volume that's in your stomach, you cannot control your waist.
No. I say to clients now, so like, I have Connor, for instance, I know he watches this, and he was one like, "Mate, I'm struggling to get this rice down." Like, he was doing like 3 meals of rice a day, and it was on like 400 gram a time. I was like, "You're eating over a kilo of it." Yeah. Like, just swap it out for some bagels, mate. You'll feel 10 times better. It's carbohydrates at the end of the day. Your body doesn't have a clue. He's like, honestly, I think he did it, and he got down to like one rice meal, a cream of rice shake, and bagels instead. Yeah. And his waist just went like. This is what everyone asks me about it. Like, I'll do all sort of different food sources that are like, look, because I fucking hate eating, and two, it's like, again, I can't handle my stomach feeling like out here, because I just start thinking, oh, I'm meant to be classic. I think I remember, obviously, when you took over my prep, I think it was like the last 6 weeks, and we had X amount of carbs a day, and I think as we got down to a little bit, I did baby potatoes, and I remember I did it 3 times in a day, and I ate 1.5 kilos of them. Yeah. And I felt horrific. Because it just does not digest. My stomach was like this. Yeah. And you was like, probably want to eat 1.5 kilos of spuds again, man. Yeah. But that's what and then that's what happens when people are dieting. They'll look for more volume-ized foods, which is great, but it just sometimes it just fucks you. Yeah. It's better and I always find rice digests well with everyone. Easily, yeah, I've never had anyone who's like, I can't digest rice. No one. So I just look at it and go, right, oats maybe, gluten-free oats, cream of rice, fucking a rice-based cereal maybe, rice cakes, like just basically derivatives of rice normally sit well. For those who haven't done gluten-free oats, do it. Because honestly, if you don't want to buy an house and you've got loads of money like Tom, no, but normal oats, I'd get like a total belly, anything over 100 gram, gluten-free, just straight through. Like there's nothing, and I don't even know. And pasta as well. What's the worst cycle you've seen, with like an old school
You've not really had. Have you had many old school coaches?
No, the worst cycle I've seen was a bit recent of a person at the gym.
Right.
We'll not mention his name, but he was well on close to 3 gram. Like 3 gram.
Of what?
It was everything, mate. And at the time, he had a sponsor who gave it him free. And I remember his blood work coming back, and he had ridiculous cholesterol levels, extremely thick blood. And he was like, "Oh, I'm going to carry on." I was like, "Mate, you will die. Like, you will actually die." No, I've spoken to my dealer. He's seen worse. I've spoken to my dealer. I was like,
that's okay. That moves on to another part question. Getting your information from people who deal drugs.
Yeah, if you're putting money in this person's pocket, I think he was buying it at a reduced rate. I was like, but you're still putting money in his pocket. You're gonna cut off his income.
Mate. So I used to have it. It's like 1 week it'd be like, yeah, this stuff's from Poland. Got it imported from Poland, and the Russians are using it and blah. And it was like some fucking fairy tale fucking thing.
Bullshit, isn't it?
And it was like, you need 2 mil. And then it's like, him over there, he's doing 2.5 mil like a week. Yeah. And I'm thinking, all right, son. He's like, you need this and you need that and you need this. Yeah. No theory behind it. It was just a matter of as many as many sales as you possibly could. Probably worked it out to how much is he going to use in a month. Right, let's get that. So he's used it in a month. He'll come back next month.
Yeah, easily.
It's like, don't take your advice from people who sell the drugs because they're going to sell you more.
But that was the worst. And he wasn't even a bodybuilder. He was just.
I think for me, it was like, I think what's happened sometimes when I've seen it as well is it's overdoing everything at the end of a prep. So it's like 100 meg of Anavar, 100 meg of Winnie, 50 meg of Halo, Letrozole, Arumadex. It's like, Letrozole is going to cut off fucking 90% of estrogen. So why do we need Arumadex in there, tamoxifen in there? It's like just to cover everything. It's like there's no need to have them in. No. And then like the trend thing is like when you go to like 1 mil of prop every day, 1 mil of tren every day, 1 mil of mast every day. It's like, just keep pushing it.
Just fill yourself.
And in reality of it, and I remember actually I was backstage and one of the lads who was competing was going for a pro card in the overall, and he was like, "Yeah, I think I'm done after this prep, mate. I'm fucked." I said I pushed it hard, and I said, "Yeah, me too, mate." Like I said, "Fucking," I was like, he was like, "Yeah, I've been running a gram of tren."
Fucking hell.
And I was like, "I'm doing 300."
Gram.
I was like, I'm thinking I'm pushing it hard because I'm doing 300.
And
then I was like, "Oh, I just beat you. Okay, cool."
Probably are done.
No, I did. Yeah, I did.
You probably done, mate.
Yeah, I was like, I'll call it a day. Like a gram of tren, mate. So like 10 mil of tren a week.
I ran 100 milligram in the sweats, mate.
Yeah, so like I think at that point it's like coaches should be saying, nah, chill. But I know lads do it. They'll just up it. Say if you do 50 meg of Anavar, they'll go, "I'll just do 100." And it's like, it's not going to bring anything more.
Nothing. At that point, you're not. In reality, at that arse end of prep, there's no muscle tissue coming on. No. Like zero.
No, it's just maintaining.
If you're peeled, you're peeled. You're done. Like, so putting in daft, it's just going to do nothing.
Yeah, it's just stupid, isn't it? Yeah. Let me have a look now. Have you ever coached like a high responder? Like someone who responds really well to gear?
I wouldn't say so, no.
Yeah, so like this is what's mad about it, because when you see that like when people say, "Oh, these guys," so back, and the other thing is like back in the day, back in the old school, what we've got to remember is guys were running 500 milligrams of test, but it was farmer grade testosterone.
Yeah.
So it was legit perfect.
Yes.
You know, everything they was running was perfect. Yeah. So they won't need to do as much. Yeah. And then what we're looking at is a snapshot of people who was Olympians going, Arnold didn't use this, or this guy didn't use this. The hyper responders.
Yeah, nuts.
So when you've got a hyper responder, trust me, they don't need as much as the guy, the average genetics guy.
I think he came out, didn't he? Lee Priest, and he said he only ever did 2 mil a week.
Sometimes I don't believe that, but I think with Lee, sometimes he's obviously just.
We had it proved, didn't we? With not proved, but thinking from the gym the other week.
Who?
He did. What did he say? He pushed his test to? It was like 100 milligram, 120 milligram, and his test come back at 51.
Oh yeah.
And that's pharma grade, prescribed test.
Yeah, because it's pharma grade. Yeah, we said that.
It's pharma grade. So, yeah, I think. Whereas someone like myself, I think I'd probably need to be at like 300-400 milligram to get my test at 51 nanomoles.
What's your current training split? We do the same split, don't we?
We do.
Are you a big believer in 2 times a week?
Each body part?
Yeah.
I think the most growth I've had is now, and we don't do it twice a week.
No.
So I think this has been, obviously we're like £30 up now. strength has been at an all-time high, and this is training literally like posterior, so basically calves to traps on a Monday, pull on a Wednesday, legs on a Friday, and push on a Saturday.
And pushing arms, isn't it?
Pushing arms on Saturday, yeah.
But that again is person dependent. But
Yes.
what we have found with training is, again, scaling it right back.
Yeah.
Because we get to the point of like, do more, work harder, lift more, do more intensifiers.
Yeah.
And then the goal is to string together a block of 8 to 12 weeks of training perfectly.
Yeah.
So what happens, what me and Tom found is what we do is we end up going, should we do 3 rest pause, 2 rest pause?
Yeah.
Then rest pause sets over fucking 10 sets.
Yes.
You're failing at 3 points every time.
Yeah.
So really you're doing 30 sets.
Yeah.
And they're all out sets failure.
Yeah.
So what we found now is pulling it right back to, this is where you've got to find your own baseline volume. What I tend to do is I'll do 1 or 2 sets, and I'll do 1 set, say 10 sets per body part, say. Do 10 sets, see how I feel.
Yep.
If I feel good on them 10 sets, I'll keep it at 10 sets.
Yeah.
And then over time, I might escalate things where I'm like, I need a bit more back. So I'll do like another T-bar row, and I'll do another hamstring curl. But then like finding that, I think everybody should go for a period of finding that baseline volume.
I think, well, with ourselves in particular, there was a period like probably last month where one day I bail, the next day you bail. One day I bail, the next, and I genuinely think it come down to, we was at the rest pause. I think we had like sometimes like 3 points of failure on rest pause, and it worked out as something like 18 sets, but each one of them had like 3 or something, and it would have been a nuts number, and it's like, that's why we're fucked. We're literally doing just mad, and this is why when people do push pull legs twice, it's like, and I have it with clients, and we've definitely had it before as well, where they've come down and they're like, oh, this is my session, yeah, it's a doddle, and they actually then train the session with us, and it's like, all right, okay,
yeah. When if you're taking them sets all the way to failure,
it's like ridiculous. And we've got our logbooks now where we're trying to beat ourselves every week, and we're literally at like, for instance, if we did like the hack squat, for instance, so we did like 320 for, we both got 8 last week or something. That 8th rep for us both was absolutely horrific. Yeah. Well, there's probably 6th, 7th, and 8th. This week it'll be the 7th, 8th, and 9th. It'll be absolute chaos.
And that's the other thing as well, when you get to that level of strength, it's not, we had this every week, don't take the jumps too soon.
No, I did it, and my adult took a bit.
Yeah, you just got it.
And it was one of the things of like, well, you got it, and I need to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's a bit thick, innit? It's like, don't.
You just get caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
in the moment. But yeah. What's your go-to sleep stack?
I'm sound.
Yeah,
Mate, I'm honestly, my missus gets so annoyed because she's similar to yourself. We've spoken about this before, where she'll get in bed and just think. Mate, I get in bed and I'm literally like, night.
Yeah.
And she'll say it. We'll be talking sometimes, and like I'll say the last bit, and then she'll respond, and I've gone. And I'm asleep. Like, and she's like, you prick.
Yeah, you prick.
You prick.
I would say that to you the other day though. I envy you sometimes because I think about everything a million times over and stuff, and I'll text you at dickhead o'clock. What about this, bro?
I wake up in the morning. I was like, Ryan texted me at 4.
Yeah, Ryan texted me at 4 because he was thinking about some shit. But like that's for me. Let's say for clients who can't sleep, I don't put any supplementation in first. No. We'll send them a document outlining obviously how to improve your sleep routine.
Yes.
Blue light, reduce blue light, this before 100%. Bed, this time, cool room, so on and so on. Because it's certain things that people know but they forget.
Yeah.
Even down to like watching stuff before bed. Like, don't be watching something that's gonna motivate you and inspire you.
Oh, yeah.
Read something that's fictional that's gonna make like wind you down. Like certain things like that. And then if that doesn't improve, then we look at like supplementation like Sleep Stack, magnesium. We'll look at like Zopiclone and Diazid. No, we don't really. But like we'll look at like magnesium, things like that, ashwagandha, all to bring us and reduce us down to that. So Sleep Stack's great. I found Sleep Stack added with magnesium's perfect. But then it's all the things you do before that, like even in the mornings. Yeah. Like you set yourself up for a good sleep.
I set myself a routine now, and my client Connor again, he does a similar thing to me now because he was really struggling with it, and I'm literally like, right, okay, so I'm going to bed at 10. At 9:30 I'll turn the telly off. I'm done, and then I'll set my alarm on my phone, and then I don't touch it again. And then I'll do that downstairs. I'll do half an hour of something like maybe empty the dishwasher or put the washing away. I do something where my mind's not triggered by a light. It's actually just movement. Brush my teeth, get in bed. Done. Like that's it. I don't have any electrical device or anything, and like my missus knows that now because there'll be times where she got in bed and she'd be on the phone, she'd be like, look at this, and I'm like, no, I'm sweet because I don't want that, and like
it massively changes it.
Huge.
think our time is up. I think we could talk forever because we've just...
It was good fun.
Yeah, we love it. But we're going to do this again. We're back.
We are.
We're back
We'll see
consistently.
Chris again.
Yeah. Kieran's gone. He's never coming back. That was a question. Just getting it out there. Right, ciao. Love yous. Bye.
Bye.